I feel like Eddie Hearn is one of the best promoters in the game. I love the way that he do his job. And I would definitely love to be a part of the stable, but
Shakur Stevenson is about to make a huge decision in his life. After the end of his contract with Top Rank, he is persuaded by Matchroom, Golden Boy, and Mayweather Promotions. He is a free agent currently and is ready to go with the side that comes up with a bigger paycheck and better fight. The recent update is that Shakur met Matchroom CEO Eddie Hearn at the boxing match between Jaron Boot Ennis and David Evanesian. Both were sitting in the front rows and having interesting conversations throughout this bout. While the other promoters are playing tricks and have their conditions, Eddie Hearn seems to be a more suitable match. He is the only guy who has shown in the recent past that he wants to achieve something with Stevenson. After all, Steven's relationship with Top Rank and Bob Arum has not ended on good terms, so Matchroom Promotions appear to be the elephant in the room. Boxing fans and sports pundits are also rooting for his inclusion in Matchroom at this part of his career and raising slogans like "Earn with Hearn." Eddie Hearn is hopeful that they might reach an agreement in the next week. He shared these feelings with the IFL TV right after Boot's crushing knockout.
A little bit about the possibility of signing Shakur, Edward.
Listen, he's going to talk to everybody like he should, you know. We're going to meet with Shakur and his team next week. We're going to have a sensible conversation. It's got to work for everybody. He's in a great position. He's probably one of the most talked about fighters in the world. Just done a big gate, just done the biggest number on ESPN. He's 27 years old. He's a 3-division world champion. He's pound for pound great.
The only thing wrong with Shakur signing with Matchroom is that he might not be able to fight against the hotshots William Zepeda and Gervonta Davis. What's your take? In this brief chat with IFL TV, Eddie remembered the time when Shakur turned pro and they had failed negotiation with him. At that time, he was being promoted by Jay Prince, and the deal was not done because of Eddie's financial complications. But now, after his $1 billion deal with DAZN, he can make almost any fighter a part of his esteemed Matchroom. After that, he mentioned his non-stop support for Shakur and said, laughing, "I've been promoting him for the last year. I've been saying in every interview that this kid is unbelievable. He's pound for pound the greatest star. I'm not even getting paid for it. So I don't mind. I like to see great fighters. I love boxing. It's like when I watch Boots, it's like poetry. It's like an artist painting a picture. And he, Shakur, has got a tremendous boxing IQ. I love having fighters like him that you can put in with anybody and think, he's gonna beat you. That's the attraction." Then he spoke up to Shakur about the possibilities in the future. He told everyone that if he became part of Matchroom, he would grab a chance to go against the top guns like William Zepeda, George Kambosos, Tank Davis, and Lomachenko. To our dismay, it looks like Shakur will have his first Matchroom fight against Kambosos first in Australia. After this friendly conversation, both Eddie and Shakur vowed to do their best if the deal's done, and Shakur joined the Matchroom.
Listen, he's a great fighter. I'm a great promoter. I believe we are a match made in heaven. If the business works for everybody, I'm sure we'll have something to say about it.
And I say that I think that with the energy that he got, I'm definitely gonna be able to give like my best performances and be able to show out. And I love the energy at Matchroom.
Shakur, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Matchroom champion Jaron Ennis has welcomed Shakur Stevenson's possible inclusion in the Matchroom. Jaron knows him well as they have sparred together on multiple occasions in the past. He acknowledged that, like him, Shakur is also not lethal with his words. He needs the support of someone like Eddie Hearn, who knows how to handle the naysayers and critics. He welcomed him and honored Eddie's services.
I know I'm feeling energized, not running around, all that stuff. As long as I'm feeling good, as long as I'm staying
this week, so the fact that Crawford has moved up, that Virgil Ortiz has moved up, that's not affecting your decision to stay at 147, plant your flag over here.
Eddie is also aware of the fact that Shakur needs someone to fight for his cause. He admitted that he might not be able to pay Shakur as much as Bob Arum, but guaranteed that Shakur would never feel excommunicated by Matchroom Boxing. He will deliver better results for Shakur regardless of the duration of their contract. He, Eddie, ridiculed the critics who thought that Shakur was not a pay-per-view star. Eddie corrected them, saying Shakur is the most talked about guy in the current boxing situation. It's ironic that can people say that he cannot sell a fight. He added,
"You know, he's fighting all his battles on his own, on Twitter. He's putting out all the fires, you know, and the reality is that's draining, that's painful, that's difficult, and it's like, it's not a good look and a good plan. So he needs a promotional machine behind him, not just me, but a company, because Top Rank gave up on him a year ago. So, you know, he needs to calm on social media, get me doing the talking for him, get the promotional machine working while he's sleeping, and get in the gym.
Eddie Hearn is firm that Shakur is the best lightweight fighter of this generation, even though he is not a knockout artist. Not only that, he has also refused to believe that Gervonta "Tank" Davis is the face of boxing. Tank has also ranted against him and called him a snake in suit multiple times. But this time it was Eddie's turn, and he passed these controversial statements. See, the thing about Tank is, I think he's a brilliant fighter. So exciting and heavy-handed, but loses a lot of rounds. He lost rounds against Frank Martin, he lost rounds against Ryan Garcia, and he lost rounds against Pitbull Cruz. These are all the guys that are not on the level of Lomachenko or Stevenson. So he, Tank, has to put a dent in these people, otherwise he'll get beaten. But this decision is not that simple for Shakur, because Mayweather Promotions is also on the line for signing him. Floyd is a mentor to him who has guided him on various phases of his career, so he wants to give them a chance as well and is eyeing on talking with him one more time before reaching any conclusion. Although he witnessed the Boots fight along with Eddie Hearn, he hasn't reached any conclusion.
I don't know. Actually, yeah. I talked with Floyd for sure. Floyd is a hell of a promoter. I appreciate him, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk too.
So, has there been talks about if you sign with Floyd, you could potentially get that Tank fight?
We ain't sit down at the table yet, but I'm pretty sure that's on the table.
Shakur was further asked about the top contenders against whom he wants to fight next if he signs a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn. Shakur responded with an open call-out to all of his division. I like Zepeda. If we can't get Zepeda, I think Kambosos. He has been talking a lot on Twitter today, and I would love to set up a fight in Australia and make him down there. But Tank, Lomachenko, whoever we could get in the ring, that's the biggest and best fights. After Eddie Hearn and Money Mayweather, the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya is the third biggest bidder for Shakur Stevenson. His eyes were lit when he knew that Stevenson could be his cash cow. There are strong rumors that he wants Shakur Stevenson to become the face of Golden Boy Promotions after the horrible demise of Ryan Garcia. He praised Shakur for calling out his fighter William Zepeda and said,
"Shakur, give me a call. Would love to make a fight with you." He made a statement. That's the bottom line. And I think when you're in that position, when you're the number one contender in every organization, you have to make a statement like that. And that's exactly what he did. He was relentless. He took a few shots because he's very awkward, as we saw with Pitbull, where he took him the distance. So I think this win for Zepeda was excellent, and now we go for the world title.
Oscar De La Hoya then briefed the whole pathway of Shakur's success if they made a deal. He recalled his 9-fight deal with Floyd Mayweather, which was made in 2007. It was the biggest success in boxing, which set the all-time pay-per-view buy record at nearly 2.5 million subscriptions. He also highlighted Bob Arum's prejudice against Shakur and concluded, "I promoted Floyd Mayweather 16 fights, and so there's kind of like a blueprint there, you know. He needs opponents, he needs the right names, he needs William Zepeda. Unfortunately, Top Rank didn't have the right opponents for Shakur. I believe that's one of the reasons why, the relationship didn't work out at the end." This statement is total chaos because Mayweather always hated Oscar. He was in the Golden Boy Promotions just because of the CEO Robert Schaefer. Hours after Richard Schaefer's resignation as chief executive of Golden Boy Promotions, Floyd Mayweather Jr. dumped the company. Today, Robert Schaefer is the CEO of Mayweather Promotions after the resignation of Leonard Alerbe. It seems like La Hoya is seeing the jackpot of Shakur Stevenson in the pockets of Eddie Hearn. That is why he is frustrated with him for no reason. He has been dissing Eddie since his most prized fighter, Ryan Garcia, bet Devin Haney. Now he mocked him for the low-profile fight between Jaron Boud Ennis and David Avanesian. Oscar made fun of Eddie Hearn's event, which was fought in Philadelphia. Oscar called that fight an entree and claimed that the fight Golden Boy is promoting on August 10th between Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Serhii Bohachuk will be the main course. He also mentioned the only condition for the fight between Zepeda and Shakur. In a recent post on X, he wrote, "Had a great meeting with Shakur Stevenson representatives. William Zepeda will only fight him if Shakur is signed to Golden Boy Boxing." Eddie Hearn has slammed back Oxar for this condition. He views it as disgraceful because Shakur would have no other choice if he signs them. If he can't sign with a big promotion company like this, he will have to defend his title against obscure fighters like Artem Harutyunyan. Eddie added, "For me, I don't really care for tying a fighter down for 5 fights or 3 years. If they like working with you, they like working with you. If they don't, they don't. Someone like Golden Boy and those kind of guys, they will only allow him Shakur to fight William Zepeda if he signs a long-term deal with them." He, Oscar De La Hoya, also said that he would only make the fight if he was with Golden Boy, which is a disgrace to boxing. Eddie also thinks that Shakur is completely alone at this point. Everybody is criticizing him for his passive style, and no one dares to praise the fact that he is winning these fights the way he wants. Eddie was also asked about the criticism that Shakur received due to his recent performance against Artem. Hearn's response was, he's been fighting a one-man war because he's got no one by his side. He's got no mouthpiece. He's got no megaphone. He's got no promotional companies that are out there. A machine pumping him 24/7. He's doing it on his own on Twitter, which actually needs to step back from. Eddie Hearn explained the difference between short and long-term contracts and how short-term deals may be better, as both parties have more things at stake. Hearn talked about the possibility of Shakur Stevenson fighting Tank in the future when he said, "People are working together more now. It really will come down to Tank and PBC if they want the Shakur Stevenson fight, because that is a very, very, very risky fight for Tank, and he has to come through Lomachenko first." The matter is even more sparked by an alarming tweet from WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman. Mauricio mentioned that Shakur will have to fight against Zepeda to defend his title. Out of nowhere, this match is made, which is a big upset for Oscar De La Hoya if Shakur doesn't sign the contract with Golden Boy Promotions. Shakur Stevenson reposted the official statement of Mauricio with a sleeping emoji and asked, "What we doing?" The post reads, "The WBC has ordered the mandatory title defense of our lightweight champion, Shakur Stevenson, versus William Zepeda. Very much looking forward to this great match. Oscar has denied the fight as long as Shakur doesn't become a part of his company. He posted immediately that he wouldn't let Zepeda fight for this title and opt for the other 3 governing bodies of boxing." Shakur reposted his tweet with laughing emojis and referred to it as ducking. It is famous in the boxing world that Eddie is a no-bar hold guy. He says what he thinks at the moment. Here is a blunt footage of some of his old remarks about Shakur when he announced his retirement after the fight against Edwin de los Santos.
Yeah, don't wait. Like, that's like fucking. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know why we give this kind of stuff airtime. Like Shakur Stevenson, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. He's so fucking boring. How old is the guy? 27, 26, I don't know.
26.
26. Of course he's not retiring. Just say to him, "All right, mate, bye. Come back to us when you've finished your tantrum." You know, what Shakur Stevenson should be doing is actually getting off Twitter.
Both Eddie and Shakur have very strong personalities. Both are the best in their business. Let's see how their relationship goes in the upcoming days. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.